Welcome everyone to the first episode of Positional Tips. So in this video I'm going to talk about the fact that pushing a pawn always weakens some squares, and this may seem obvious, but I think that a lot of people forget this. So I'm just going to have a look at a couple of openings where this happens. So first we'll look at the Benoni. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, knight c5, and d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, d6, white fianchettas, g3, g6, bishop g2, and bishop g7. So this is one of the main lines of the Benoni, and here black gets some very nice dark squared control in the center with these two pawns here, and also the bishop. However, white gains some space with this pawn on d5, and also this pawn on d6 is quite weak, for example after bishop f4. Okay, so knight f3, castles, castles, a6, looking to play b5, so white stops this with a4. Rook to e8, and now white plays rook e1, a little bit of a rare move, and the obvious plan is to play e4. Okay, so knight bd7 and e4, and here's the point of the video. In pushing e4, white has weakened the d3 square. This d3 square and the d4 square will never be defended by a white pawn again. And I feel like this is a very easy thing to miss, and black here plays c4. And they have noticed this hole on d3, and they're going to bring a knight into d3. Very simple but very strong play. So here one game between Francisco Olivares and Alan Pitchot, excuse the pronunciation, went queen e2, and now the grandmaster playing black played knight c5, looking to bring the knight into d3. And this is a very nice move, because if white plays queen takes c4, black plays b5, and first of all a takes b5, a takes b5, now you're attacking the rook and you are attacking the queen. And if the queen moves back to e2, then black plays b4, and then after say knight d1 they can win the pawn on e4. So after knight c5, white played bishop e3, but then black played knight d3, achieving the goal and getting a very strong knight on d3. Okay, so let's look at one other opening, the Slav defense. d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, and now d takes c4 by black. And what's the point? It looks like black has just given up the center. Well, if white tries to get a big foothold in the center with e4, then black will play b5. And yes, white has a lot of compensation for the pawn, but black is going to hold on to this pawn on c4. So in order to stop b5, white plays a4. But in pushing the pawn a4, now b4 and b3 will never be defended by a white pawn again. And black exploits this. Bishop f5, e3, e6, bishop takes c4, and now bishop b4. And you can see that black is using this square on b4 as a wonderful square for the bishop, and it cannot be attacked by a pawn here. And this is the main line of the Slav, or one of the main lines. So what to get out of this video? I've got a little training idea. In the next week when you play online or on the board, every time your opponent makes a move with a pawn and you make a move with a pawn, look to see which squares it weakens. And this is going to seem really tedious, but eventually you'll just start doing it intuitively, and you'll become much more wary of weak squares in the future. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video of positional tips. If you liked the video, leave a like, and if you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. Bye.